Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. Today I would like to work through a couple of the new embossing folders from the January to April mini catalog. First is the Layered Florals 3D embossing folder, and second is the Thoughtful Moments hybrid embossing folder that does all these greetings. So what I've got here is the Layered Florals embossing folder, no color at all. And then the Thoughtful Moments, where I've actually inked up the folder itself to create the outlines in the hello. This one, I inked up the Layered Florals folder itself, and then did the die cut, or then did the run it through with the paper. And same again, where I inked up the folder for the thank you. And then this one, I ran the folder through just with no ink on it, and then used sponge daubers to color it in. And then I didn't use any color on the just because there was lots of other color. So what we're going to do is I am going to show you how to ink up the folder and run it through, and then also how to use your sponge daubers to color the raised portion. So I'm just going to pop these off to the side for now, and then I'm going to ink up the folder. Now when you ink up a folder, always have the black Stampin' Up logo on the top, and that's the piece you're going to ink up. You're going to ink this up. I'm just going to pop a piece of cardstock underneath so that it's easier to see what I'm doing. I'm going to take my berry burst and a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to color in the pieces. And what this does is it actually, the little lines in the petals actually show up as lines of ink. So I'm just going to ink up the flowers with the berry burst like this. And I've got a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white that I am going to run through the folder. So we've got that done. Now I need to put my piece of paper in, and I close the folder down. And it is one of the 3D embossing folders, so I'm just going to run it through on the base plate with the gray plate over top, and then just run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And there we go. And then what we end up with is basically, it's got, you can see how it's got all the detail in it, and then that's how I did this card. I'd also added a little bit of Granny Apple Green to the middle of the flowers, but I thought for this, I just keep it nice and simple. For actually coloring in the flowers, all I did was I took the sponge dauber in the ink pad and very lightly ran it over the raised piece. You are going to end up with a little bit between the petals, but you can add as much or as little color as you want. You can color in the leaves with another color, the smaller flowers with another color. So this is basically how I colored this card in. And you can see the difference with these ones. Here the lines or striations in the leaves are white because they're indented, so we're only coloring the surface. And here we've actually inked them in the folder, so they show as lines. So it's two different, so it's like the positive and the negative, because these are colored in here, but they're white here. So that's how I did that. And I just want to show you how I did the Thoughtful Moments folder. So I'm just going to need a scrap of basic white. And again, we're going to take the Stampin' Up logo side and we're going to ink that up. And I'm going to ink up the hello so it's nice and easy to see. I'm just inking all around. Now when you do this, you're going to get ink on the die as well. So you need to clean the die off afterwards. And this goes blade side up, and you can wiggle it around and you'll feel it kind of snug in until it won't move anymore. And then you put your piece of paper in, fold it over, and this runs through the same way like a 3D embossing folder. You pop that on like that, use your gray top plate, and run it through the machine. And, oh, it's a bit tight. So you really gotta give it a good, oh, snap, there we go. And with any other folder, you want to run the folded edge first through the machine so it doesn't distort and come apart. And then when you take the die out, you can see there's some ink on it. I'm just putting everything off to the side so I can clean it later. And let's pull this out of the way. And what we end up with is a greeting with ink on it. So that's how easy it is to coordinate your ink colors with your card. So then we could take either one of these and we could pop the hello greeting on either one of those to make a really pretty card using the folders. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been a bit of help in how to use these two new folders to create color on your cards, and let's create together again soon.